Hello there and welcome to another episode of Techfile here on KTN News, where we speak all matters technology. I'm Brian Jototieno and I have a lot lined up for you, particularly talking to Glovo CEOs, that is Sub-Saharan CEO William Benthall, on the role of Glovo, the delivery app, the logistics application, on how it's empowering Kenyan startups and of course across the Sub-Saharan region, and how they are helping startups to launch into the market, have a go-to market strategy, and of course get everything that they need in terms of financing and of course market access. But first off, the tech news of the week. This year's Techstars Startup Weekend will be going down at the Ardenian Labs, Nairobi, between 1st and 3rd April. Techstars Startup Weekends are 54-hour events designed to provide superior exponential education for technical and non-technical entrepreneurs. Beginning with Friday night speeches, the event continues through brainstorming, business plan development, and basic prototype creation, culminating in Sunday night demos and presentations. Participants create working startups during the event and are able to collaborate with like-minded individuals outside of their daily networks.
Number one was the business model, how viable it is, right?
All teams here talks by industry leaders and received valuable feedback from local entrepreneurs. The weekend is centered around action, innovation, and education.
And let's change Africa a step at a time. Let's build the next Silicon Savannah. Thank you.
Zalego Academy, a subsidiary of Stepwise Inc. that focuses on ICT training and enhancing the employability of youth and people from underserved communities, announced that it is working with Amazon Web Services (AWS) to deliver training and certification for cloud skills to learners in Kenya. Zalego Academy has joined the cloud provider's training partner program and will concentrate on social impact initiatives. This training will not only enable cloud fluency for unemployed youth and graduates to leverage the power of the cloud, but will also create new opportunities, new pathway of economic opportunity for young people to partake in cloud computing jobs. This training partner program is designed for organizations like Zalego Academy that meet or exceed rigorous criteria for developing and of course delivering and offering high quality technical training. MTN Global Connect has acquired MTN Business Kenya. The development seeks to transform MTN Business Kenya into a dedicated wholesale and infrastructure hub in the country. According to the statement, this is part of MTN Group's strategic plan to digitally transform its business. This is also the first milestone in MTN Global Connect's fiber railroad deployment plans to shape its Pan-African infrastructure expansion. Furthermore, as part of this transformation, the MTN Kenyan team will continue to look after its customers while reshaping the business to service wholesale and infrastructure. And finally, a couple of days ago, Xiaomi released its new Redmi Note lineup, the 11 series for the Kenyan market. At launch, only 2 members of the lineup were available immediately: the Redmi 11S and the Vanilla Note 11. The Pro version was said to make a local appearance in April 2022, but it would appear that it has arrived earlier than expected. The Chinese company has now announced the availability of Note 11 Pro Plus 5G, which, as its name suggests, is equipped with 5G radios and has more to bring to the table thanks to the Pro moniker attached to it. In the same announcement, Xiaomi has also revealed the existence of the Redmi 10 5G, which again has 5G antenna for faster mobile connection whenever that will be available for the Kenyan customers. Well, now that you're up to date with what's happening in the tech world, let's now get into that conversation about Glovo and what they're doing to enable startups here in Africa and of course in Kenya and the larger Sub-Saharan region. You've heard about them for a long time now, but where did they start? What is Glovo? What does that, logo of the balloon mean? I asked all these questions to William Benthall, the Sub-Saharan CEO, and this is the conversation we had about Glovo earlier on.
My name's William. I'm the General Manager for Glovo in Sub-Saharan Africa. So we're in 7 countries in Africa. and my responsibility is to oversee those countries. Glovo, it's a multi-category app that allows anyone to access anything in their city. So they can do their shopping, grocery shopping, they can get restaurant food delivered to them. Really, they can order anything, and within an hour, it's there at their home or office. Glovo, actually the name came from our CEO. Glovo is very close to globo, which means balloon in Spanish. And he had this vision of hot air balloons sort of dropping people's groceries and shopping at their doors very directly. So that's where the logo comes from as well. It looks a little like a hot air balloon. We've been in existence since 2016. In Africa, we've been here for 4 years, and in Kenya for just about exactly 3 years. Kenya is an incredible place to do business. It attracts many, many companies here because of the incredible business environment. There are many, many things when you look at Kenya that say, as a tech business entering, that you say, yeah, that's the place I want to be, from the mobile phone penetration, the lower cost of data, and the digital savvy of small businesses, riders in our case, who use the platform. And all of these things combine to actually make it much easier to penetrate the market and grow. I think other African countries are still catching up in that regard. Of course, Nigeria is close on the tech scene, attracting a lot of VC investment, but at the same time, there are a lot of other challenges there as well. So Kenya is really like a sweet spot in terms of strength of the tech ecosystem. Well, we're a proudly Kenyan company, right? So we are a locally resident company, which actually, if you look at the tech space and a lot of the international players, they're not locally resident, which means that the government has been introducing various taxes to try and bring these companies into the tax net. We operate locally, and we really have that perspective. So we've had a customer service center here for 2 years, which services all of Africa. And now we're looking to expand that to our real-time operations center. And that center will also serve Africa, but also Europe now. And I think that really shows our commitment to Kenya, and shows that we're doubling down on our investment in the country. I used to live in Kenya, actually. I was the general manager of our operation here. We decided I made the decision that we should be locally run by a Kenyan team, and we hired a Kenyan tech entrepreneur to run the business here, and I've moved to our Barcelona office. The ability of the broader population to really be able to afford e-commerce services. I think we've been very successful at penetrating the upper middle classes and people who can afford to get their groceries delivered. What we've been looking at over the last year quite successfully is making Glovo an affordable service that really anyone can use, right? Most Kenyans spend about 50% of their income on groceries, and that's really who we're targeting, right? Right now, Kenyans can receive their groceries free delivery for prices that are often actually cheaper than in supermarkets and in the marketplaces. So, these are challenges, but at the same time, huge opportunities for us. We're not a rural service, to be honest. There are a lot of companies that are doing that quite successfully, and I have a lot of admiration for them because that comes with its own challenges. But we are in 10 cities in Kenya, which I think shows our commitment, not just for being in the Nairobi Tech Hub, but also really exploring the country and making sure that city dwellers across the country can access Glovo. It's really important for us to be at the forefront of tech developments, right? But at the same time, we need to be relevant to the market. So we'll look to see what's relevant for the market. Now, if you look at Kenya, of course, M-Pesa transacts almost the equivalent of half of the GDP of Kenya. And a priority for us is to really integrate M-Pesa into a fantastic service on our platform. So at the moment, you can pay for standard deliveries with M-Pesa, but you can't yet pay for our Prime service with M-Pesa. And that's something over this year, probably before we get to Bitcoin, that we really need to crack and make sure we're investing in. I wanted to tell you about a tech competition that we're launching. So this is a competition that, in partnership with Boston Consulting Group, Esadi Business School, the Spanish Embassy here, and this is open to any small tech businesses who haven't yet raised $20,000 US. And we will be offering them a platform to pitch their business in front of sort of tech celebrities, with a prize to go and explore and experience the tech ecosystem in Barcelona. And it's a cool prize because Barcelona is so well known for being sort of Southern Europe's biggest tech hub. and we're really excited about it. So we're going to be launching that in the next 2 days. The competition is open to any tech startup that is having an impact for small businesses. And we particularly look at this small businesses because that's very close to Glovo's heart. 90% of our partners and businesses that we work with are small businesses, and we really want to make sure that we are supporting an ecosystem that is able to bring benefits and value to small businesses. In 5 or 10 years, I really want to see that we've revolutionized the business of Q-commerce and grocery shopping, right? And I think that means different things to different people, but fundamentally it means getting people their groceries quicker, and it means getting them cheaper. And I think that's something that Glovo is really in an incredible place to do. I also want to make sure that we are really, really looking after every one of our employees and riders. Recently, Glovo was rated 7 out of 10 in a Fair Works report. This is an independent auditor that comes in, looked at all of the tech platforms in Kenya, and Glovo was awarded top place for the way that we treat riders. And that's very, very close to my heart. I think we're creating a lot of jobs in this country, and we want to make sure that they're good jobs and people are treated well. So quite apart from the business legacy, we want to make sure that we have a social legacy as well.
Very well, that has been a riveting conversation about Glovo and how it's impacting the startup ecosystem here in Kenya. Let me now give you some very interesting videos, tech videos particularly, I prepared for you this week.
I'm Jay Connon and I'm Professor of Tissue Engineering at Newcastle University. I'm interested in understanding the biology of the eye, such the cornea, so that we can recreate it or repair it in new and sophisticated ways. When we were looking to recreate or tissue engineer a cornea, we knew that the shape of the cornea was very important in the way that the cells within that engineered construct would behave. So we thought about creating shaped corneal tissues. And the way we chose to do that in this instance was to use a 3D bioprinter. And in this case, you can control the manufacture of of the cornea, layer by layer, building up a particular shape. Importantly, of course, those materials are cell-friendly, so the cells within the gel, as it's printed, remain alive and continue to remain alive after the cornea is printed. That's of course the back of all our minds in the labs is really making a difference to people's sight worldwide. That's a big driver of ours, yes. And in the cornea, certainly there's the donor tissues cannot keep up with demand. In particular, in less developed nations where they don't have such well executed donor eye banks. Approaches such as ours with the 3D bioprinting could really open up and make corneas transplants more accessible in the future. There are still certain within the medical field, we've been very, very, very careful about the safety and efficacy of anything that's going into humans. So it does necessarily slow down as the closer it gets to actual clinic, the kind of slower the progress is, unfortunately, but that's for good, solid health reasons. So it's difficult to predict, actually, because as it slows down, how much it's going to slow down. But I think, if everything fell into line with funding, etc., you could be looking in 5-7 years, something like that.
Now you're on the know, you are up to date with what's happening in the technology world, you know about Glovo, and of course, we now end it right here on Techfile. Let's meet up next time when we talk about technology. I'm Brian Giorgetino. Enjoy the rest of your viewing.